All right, I think we're live. I say we, but I think there's only two of us here. Thank you for joining. Whoever you are, please shout out in the comment section below or to your right. I think it's on the right during live stream, right? So, title of the live stream is Last Look at the Assassin. And that is because we got a free change class card, right? I think all of you guys has received the same item as well, like I have here. It's the advanced class change card, so you can use it to change into a warrior, a mage, archer, or a dragonkin class. All right, you can't convert into a summoner or a gunslinger or a assassin. Did I said all three, right? Summoner, gunslinger, and assassin. You can't change to those newer classes. Okay, these are the, well, somehow OG classes, because the dragonkin here came in very late. I think we started with just the warrior and the archer, and then the mage came in much later, then the dragonkin, the gunslinger, and then the summoner and assassin. Yep, I think that's the order in which I remember, you know, each of those classes arriving in the game. All right. So we're gonna take a look at the talent that I have here, and as well as the Dragonborn talents. Okay, and let me know in the comment section which part of this build do you want to see, whether it's maybe the charms or yeah, whatever you guys want to see. I'm gonna show it to you. All right, so let's start with the strength, dex. We're on the dex talent tree here. All right, we're going to start with a attack section. Okay, so as you can see here, obviously I didn't put anything on the left side because these are all gonna be related to the giant giant morph or transformation, whatever you want to call it. So that's why I didn't add anything on here. All right, just because I had Nightbound on the description, but also here Nightbind is in the description, so I didn't put anything there because I'll be losing around 15 talent points just to get to the health regen, and then additional damage here, and this one's another Nightbound related skill. So it's up to you if you guys want to spend 15 talent points, well, plus this one of course, so around 21 talent points if you want to get health regen and additional damage. But for me, I can almost get all of those in some other parts of the talent tree. So let's start with the right side. So in here I got 19 points, and these are all required to go to reach the maximum or the end of the talent tree. And I think before we even proceed, let's sum up all of my talents. All right, I have 543 for strength and 636 for dex. So let me just add it up real quickly. 636 plus 543. So that's around 1,179 talent points, all in all, right? And actually, I just bought a new domain and a new web hosting service. I'm planning to build my own website and build some sort of a talent builder, probably. But you need to subscribe. I'll give you one free slot, which means you can build whatever you want for whatever class, but it's just gonna be one time or one slot. If you register, I'm still thinking about the registration process, but if you register, you'll have maybe unlimited slots. You can build 5 different builds. You can share it on the site, and people will get to like or dislike your build depending on on their experience, probably, or if they've used your build. So that's my plan for the website. I'm still practicing web development, so watch out for that. All right, so I got that much talent. So I had 19 here. This increases the the Lancelot skill, wherein the assassin would just go in a star shape attack, and while you're in that state, you won't be attacked by the opponent, so they will be blind. They won't be able to attack you. All right. Increase PvP damage bonus 0.5% for each player you kill for 3 seconds. So this is very, very situational. So it only gets in effect if you kill a player. So when you're leveling or when you are farming, this will be unusable for you, just for PvP purposes. So I'm not always in PvP mode, so that's why I just had it at 6, which is I think the minimum for this. The next skill would be Blood Knight. So after the Unmatched Dance, which is again the Lancelot skill, you give the opponent a 0.6 second silence effect. So almost half a second there that the opponent won't be able to cast any skill. I think they will be able to attack you, but they won't be able to cast any skill. All right, so there's a huge difference there. So during the Lancelot skill or Unmatched Dance, they won't be able to attack you, and after that, they won't be able to cast any skill on you. So that's a good combination there. And then next, Double Shura attack has 1% chance. I'm not sure it's just 1%. I think it's more than that. This is a translation error in Ujoy's part. So I think it's more than one. As you can see, the jump is very huge here. And once you go over 11 until 15, it's gonna stay at 11% and the same cooldown. So there's a little bit of a mistranslation here on Ujoy's part. So we really don't know what percentage it is, but it has a chance of triggering Matchless Dance again. So you'll be untargeted again, and you'll be able to silence the opponent. So not sure if it's going to be 11%, as I'm saying here. Next is Shuffle is also Unmatched Dance. So the way it moves, it shuffles around the area, so it's referring to the very same skill. Okay, so it's saying it's dealing 0.5% maximum health damage. Again, it's very, very small, but I think they made the wrong translation here. All right. Hello, Manha. Did I say it correctly? Thank you for watching. So that's it. Let's move on to the next. So each Mark of Havoc increases attack by 8%. All right. Mark of Havoc, I'm not sure if it's the one that you got here, but when you attack an opponent, it also shows a marking on the opponent's head. So I think that is what's being referred to as Mark of Havoc right there. So let me just go back here. Yeah, so increases your attack by 8%. If it's a demon markings at the bottom of your feet, then it's gonna be 40% decrease attack, which is good. Let's try it. So I'm not moving. My attack here is, let's just say at 123. Let's add another mark, and it's under 29. So I guess it really adds up to your attack. So let's wait for 10 more seconds, and let's do that again. Review a game card. Can you give me a little bit more details on that, sir? So let me cast it again. We're at 129 before. Oh, okay. That's a big jump. Okay. Not sure what's happening. I wasn't attacking anyone. But it's 123. So really not sure what's happening there. Let's cast it one more time. There you go. Attack goes up. It's 137. Alright, maybe it's doing something, right? As you can see. So it's really, really nice to increase this or maximize this particular talent. Then of course you've got your wing attack attribute enhancement over here. I max it out, of course. And then the last one here in the Dex attack tab would be remove all buffs after using unpaired dance. Alright, so as you increase what do I call this, the probability of casting that shuffle or unpaired dance attack, then the more that you get debuffed, right? It means negative buffs will be removed. It can probably be stun, or if you're frozen, all right, if you're silenced, then that's gonna be removed. So there's, for assassin, it's a huge part of their skills to stun and remove buffs, self negative buffs. So that's good. Next up would be the Dex talent tree. So let's start with the left side. So demonic imprinting, same as demon mark. So demon mark reduces the enemy's hit by 22%. All right, that's quite large. So on the first tab, they won't be able to hit you, they won't be able to cast skills, but if they'll be able to hit you, it's gonna be a lower chance of hitting you, as you know, their accuracy is gonna be decreased by 22%. All right, so good deal here. Next up is damage reduction is increased 2% for 3 seconds. That's good for me. I'm gonna max it out. And also the prerequisite for the next skill anyways. So next skill, during the frenzy phase, a normal attack is 4% damage to heal itself for 3 seconds, right? So if you're doing normal attacks, gonna heal you for 3 seconds. Madness duration increased by 3 seconds, cooldown by 15 seconds. All good with that, no doubt. So next is Candle Dragon, increases duration of burn sacrifice by 2.4 seconds. I'm not sure if it's just 2.4 seconds, but I think it's also a mistake on Ujoy's part in translating the skill descriptions. Then Fire Sacrifice uses 0.5% damage to restore health. So restoring health, more damage. Of course, we want skills to be maximized 100%. But the gist of this build is that I avoided getting the giant transformation or the god skills. So this is going to be a human build, and with the talent that I have, the amount of talent I have, I almost have completed this build. I think I'm short by maybe 15 more points. Alright, using Blackburn Sacrifice reduces nearby enemies 3% of PvP damage for 5 seconds and has a 60-second cooldown. Alright, Void Rebirth. Yan, boss, sa Immortal set. I'm gonna show you the Immortal set. Okay, we're gonna pause here and show the Immortal set really quickly. I haven't completed it, so I have the main armors already at Void Rebirth. So armor, leggings, the boots, and the bracer. They're all Void Rebirths. Then let's go with the wing. It's not. I haven't converted this to Void Reborn. This one as well. I did lack a little bit of materials. This one is also a creator. I don't see any Reborn exchange for this, I think. Let me just go back to the Carnival exchange. Sorry, Eternal Reborn. Yep. Bezel. Yep. So this is already Void Reborn. I don't see Creator to Reborn. Yeah, I think that's missing. That's why I failed to, exchange. I think I tried it when I had 300 anniversary crystal and tried to unequip my Bezel, and it did not convert, or it didn't show up here. So for this event, I wasn't able to convert that. That stays creator. And this one is a Void Reborn. Haven't converted this to Void Rebirth because it requires 4 special materials. This one I did. I think it required just 1, so I was able to convert it. And then lastly, these 2 are just Reborns, not yet Void Reborn, so still not complete. But for these last 6 days, I was able to convert a lot of those from regular Immortal sets, so that's quite good. You can say Xin Chao Vietnam. Did I say it correctly? Xin Chao Vietnam. Xin Chao Vietnam. Ni hao ma. It's not Chinese, right? Ni hao ma, wo hen hao. Ni chu China. Okay, going back to our talent. So I think we're done with this on this side. The middle one is it increases your HP. Hit points is your health per second, restored by the Ring of Life by 40%. So mistranslation there, or it's not very consistent with the other classes, the way they describe the skills of the other classes. And next here is Fire Crying. Not sure what they mean by that, but after the use of Blackfire Sacrifice, self-defense increased for 1.5% for 5 seconds. That's good for me. If it increases defense, it's all good. And then during the duration of Burn Sacrifice, damage taken is reduced. So it's very obvious we're on the death tree, so it's gonna be focused on your defense. And again, you're gonna remove your buffs when triggered. Not sure what is triggered, but I'm assuming it's Blackburn Sacrifice as well, or Hellfire. Sometimes they call it Hellfire. Sometimes they call it Fire of Eternal Life. Alright, so it releases night healing. So I'm not sure what exactly night healing is, but I'm gonna take it into literally that it's gonna be healing me. No percentage, nothing on here, right? So it's just gonna say remove all buffs and heal. By what amount, we're not sure, but I just had it on there. It's just 1 talent point anyways. Next one is 11% PvP damage reduction when health is greater than 50%. So this gives you a little bit of tankiness when you're at full health until the 50th percent or half of your HP. So an HP build will also gonna benefit from this. So the higher your HP, then you'll have this in effect majority of the time. So that's why I have full health talents here for the wings for the def, similar to the other side. Right, let's go to the last one here. So release night healing again. We have night healing over here and night healing here. Has a 4% chance of restoring all health. Alright, if this doesn't give you any percentage, this somehow gives you 4% chance of restoring all of your health. Alright, so it's good enough for me. It's probably more than 4%, but that's how it is right now. Get it maxed out, that's important. And then on the general tab, alright, I have everything at the minimum except, let's take a look one by one. So these are minimums except for attack speed. Since I'm an assassin, I want my combo to be in effect. I want them to be, you know, as mentioned earlier, the more you do basic attacks, the more that you get a chance to do the shuffle. So make sure that you maximize all attack speed increases. So that's what I did. And for the remainder of the skills here, it's at the minimum, right? I'm not maxing this out. It's up to you, but I'd prefer that you do this much later on once you complete or you get all the skills or effects that you have. So these are 10s, 10, and 10. Alright, on the right side you have I'm not sure what is life limit increases by 5.5%. It's HP, right? And this is actually, I think, the bigger gives you bigger HP than this one. I think I forgot, but based on memory, I think this gives bigger HP. So that's why I'm maxing this out. And as mentioned before, a huge HP will benefit assassins a lot. All right. If you don't have enough talent, I recommend that you go through my different builds, because I have lower levels in those videos, and you can make it as a step ladder into this final build. So make sure that you follow those builds, and as soon as you get enough talent, switch to this final one. Okay, I didn't maximize this one. This is damage reduction. So before you put any points in here, it's gonna show you a different description, and it's gonna say damage reduction. So again, I max this out because I think this gives you 30% damage reduction. So that's important for me, and for any character that I build, damage reduction is very important. This one, just keep it at 10 as the prerequisite, same as this one and this one. But for damage up, I it's not gonna be silencing the target. Nope, this is the wrong description. This is all about damage up, right? It's gonna give you a lot of damage up percentage there. Oops, let me just attack this one again. Let me just show you my damage up right now. So it's at 202,563%. Right? Okay, it's buffed. So probably my normal is 168. I think I'm seeing at this range during when I'm idle. So around 168, 160, or 150 something. This is gonna be my damage up. Damage down, I think, is bugged. It stays at 100% no matter what. So it's gonna be the same. Nice look. More power on your channel, Lods. Thank you, Neat. And Adrian, good morning. Good morning to you as well. Alright, I think we're done with general, right? So this would be actually very a generic build for every class. If I switch to a mage class later on, I'll be using the same one. For gunslinger, I'll be using the same configuration for the general tab at least. Alright, this is what I'm gonna do. And for the enhance decks, so cooldown for Ring of Elements is, I had it at 6. I don't really see my elementals, so that's why I just keep it at a minimum. It's not my priority for now. The next one, maximum health is reduced by 0.4 to 1.2%. It's a fixed damage. It doesn't matter whether your opponent has high defense, high damage down, or ignore defense resistance. It's not gonna help them because this is a fixed damage. Although it's a small amount, but at least, you know, this is guaranteed damage, right? I think if you're playing Mobile Legends, it's equivalent to true damage, right? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alright, next. I max this out because burn sacrifice increased damage per second by 88%. Right? Almost double the damage. So, very recommended. Next. Cooldown per skill. I think this is just a prerequisite here. I kept it in a minimum because I'm not sure what it's cooling down. Is it gonna cool down all of my skills? I'm not sure. It doesn't say in this description. I'm not sure, so let's keep it at a minimum. Then next one, the manualized state. Manualized state, there's a 1% chance of resistance. Very, very small amount. 1%. I'm not sure if this is true, you know. And I just lagged, so give me a moment here while I restart the application. And while I'm doing that, guys, have any questions? Hopefully, you know, the stream is running smoothly. I set it up at 1080p with a 10-second delay, so hopefully it's all smooth on your end. So if you're wondering, I'm using BlueStacks, and not sure if it's just BlueStacks, but it's really buggy sometimes. It will just disconnect me like that, and I have not got any luck with other virtualization tools as well. So BlueStacks worked well enough for me. That's why it's the one I'm using. Alright, going back to the skills, enhance, last one, right? Fiend imprinting increases the damage of an opponent by 22%. I made a video about this, right? And this is clearly a mistake on the developer's part, because why would you increase the damage of your opponent? Right? You're helping your enemy be stronger. That's kind of weird. Alright, next. Attacks an enemy with a demonic seal. Again, that's the imprinting. And adds an additional 0.5% of maximum health. Fixed damage again. And cooldown is 2 seconds. So every 2 seconds you add true damage. So that's a secret why assassins, you know, have very high damage, even though you're facing a very tough opponent. Guilt Void after using Hellfire. Hellfire is the skill wherein you jump and drop down. So it's also Burning Sacrifice, so everything fire related, it's referring to that. So cooldown on all spells is reduced by 1 second. So at least this one says all spells rather than this one, right? 11 seconds of what? Not sure. So at least this one says all spells, right? And the next level actually doesn't add any duration to that, so it's kind of weird. I'm sure it's got a little bit of something to add, but it's the same description, so I'm kind of hesitant to increase this to 10. It's just probably gonna be 1.5. I'm not sure, but it's not telling me. I don't have the enough data to calculate that because it's not giving me anything. All right, next up, very calming background music. False Promise. Gonna take it real slow. I'm gonna talk slow. Gonna match our background music. All right, gain 0.5 seconds in control immunity after releasing Hellfire. So if you use that skill, jump and jump down, it's gonna give you 0.5 seconds control immunity. So that's good for me. Again, it's very small, but I'm not sure if it's really 0.5 seconds. I think it's more than that. It's something's wrong with the description here. Because at level 1 out of 10, I think it says the same thing up until you max it. It's gonna say the same amount of seconds, so something wrong with that. Casting of the Burn Sacrifice will give you shield to resist 1 damage. So again, just one skill and it has lots of benefits, so make sure that you slot that skill. Slot this one. Make sure that you use it often. Right? Is it gonna burn them? Alright, let's go back to here. Again, after releasing that skill, the next 10 attacks will deal 30% additional damage. That's why when I use this, after a few seconds, they die. Or after casting it, they die immediately. That's how powerful it is. Devil's Mark cannot be dispelled. So, that sounds good. So that's why I have it there, right? It won't hurt to have that. Alright, last for the Dex 3. These are gonna be the same for all the classes. So I have their this is a 10. So you guys, all of you guys have this. So just take a look at how I did it here. So everything at 10 except for this. Right. So in here, if my IR is more than 90, my PvP damage is up by 20%. So we're gonna take a look at my stats later on after this. In here, I should have prioritized this the least, and instead I should have prioritized this one. As you can see, it's not yet maximized, but for this one, if you have enough talent, just keep it at 10. I mistakenly had this at 11 because I kind of decided late to add attack speed. So yeah, so you can skip this and prioritize the other side, which we're gonna go to right now. So starting with strength attack, so increases the effect buff cast by a secret tree. Alright, if the number of damage marks greater than 3, duration of buff is increased by 0.3 seconds. And again, I don't see any change from the current level to the next level. That's why I kept it at 6. Alright, I'm sure this is gonna be more than 0.3, but as long as they don't correct it, I'm gonna leave it at 6. Probably once I finish my runestone tree, I'm gonna add or adjust this ones, but for now it stays at 6. Demon elementals, again, I don't see these very much. Not sure why they're not appearing, even though I set the video or the graphic settings to the highest level. I don't see them. So somehow maybe they're in the background attacking and helping me defeat my enemies, but it stays at the minimum level for now. Same as here. So demon elemental has a 30% chance to inflict 0.5%, but the requirement here is 10. That's why you see it maxed out. Okay, so my goal here is to get all the effects, at least the minimum of all these effects, because it will pile up, it will stack up, it will help me during battle. All right. Okay, with demon elements present, damage more increased by 20%. So these are all about demon elementals and kept it at minimum. The last one doesn't mention any demon elementals. It just says increases damage of 16.5% PvP on at least 3 damage marks, or the 3 demon marks that you have at the bottom of your feet, right? So that's good enough for me. This description is good. It's guaranteed. It's very clear, unlike the others. So that's why I got it maxed out. Same thing here. I got the attacks maxed out. This one just to get the effect. And this one I believe Nightbind is this one, right? It binds you using a rope. So once you use that, the enemy will bleed, dealing 40% damage per second for 5 seconds. This is not slotted on my shortcut, but this is also passive, right? So it as long as you're in auto, that's gonna be what do you call that? Casted, right? It's what I'm looking for. Again, Hellfire will cause enemies to reactivate and deal 7% damage for 5 seconds. So, yeah. Hellfire is this one, right? So, yeah. It's good. Deals 1% extra damage to enemies that ignite. It's good. Hellfire deals additional 100% damage. Also good. Hellfire reduces target's death by 80% for 6 seconds. Good enough for me. Then when casting Hellfire, attack plus 100% for 8 seconds. So there's a lot of additional stats just for one skill. Again, it's the same skill that's being buffed on the other side. So if you got both sides, then that'll make that skill very, very powerful, right? Next, or the last one here, when you take mortal damage, remove the hero's negative buff and reset the Hellfire cooldown and automatically release it. This time's Hellfire does not consume the damage mark for 30 seconds. So when you release this, it's gonna eat up 2 of your damage marks at the bottom of your feet over here. So maximum is 5. If you cast it, 2 of them will disappear, right? And as long as you have, as mentioned earlier, as long as you have these demon markings, your attack is going to be amplified. So it's best that you monitor your status over here and make sure that you have enough before activating this one, and an opponent or monster should be near before using this one. Okay. That's why I can't use it. I'm also in the safe zone, and I think I can use it here, but you won't see the jumping effect because no one's around. There you go. It should jump up and it will zoom out the map, but no one's around, so you're not gonna see the effect. Crazy, you joy, indeed. Where were we? So death, right? So now it's all about defense again. So increases the health restored by Ring of Life. This is generic. This appears in almost every class, but Ring of Life, I think, has, if for those that are maximizing that particular skill, let's just take a look at Ring of Light here. Where are you, Ring of Life? I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not sure if you saw it, guys. Ring of Life. Not this one. Ring of Healing. I think this is the one. Ring of Life, where are you? I don't see it, but it's last time I saw it, it has a very, very high cooldown or long cooldown. That's why I don't use it. So I kept it at a minimum. You'll probably just be good keeping it at minimum. So an enemy in a dark cage stunned 80% of the time for 0.2 seconds. So I think someone corrected me on this. I think it's also referring to the bind or Ring of Downfall here. And also you have your Phantom now, so once you have your Phantom, it also would cast giant skills, so this is going to be in effect as well. Immune to control and 6% damage reduction after use of Fury Chase. So this is related to a giant skill as well. After Furious Chase, silence for 0.2 seconds. Do not return HP. That's what it refers to, blood. After the Fury Chase, apply a bleed effect of 0.2 per second minus maximum health for yeah, whatever. Reduce 1 by 5 seconds after each Furious Chase. Yeah. And then use of a Night Bind to reduce enemy attacks by 5.2% to prevent them from regaining HP 3 seconds. Right? So the other side would well, he's not the one. Where was it? I forgot where it is, but is it here? This one, right? Causes them to bleed, and this one causes them to not regain any HP. So these two are in good combination, right? More damage, don't heal the damage, and also reduces their attacks. Alright, right side, maximum health increased just a few seconds, so I'm not gonna max that out. Night healing, each layer of damage mark gains additional 5.5% defense and reduction for 10 seconds. That's why I max it out, even though it only requires 6. 10 seconds is kind of good enough duration for me. Reduce negative offset time of the blessing ring by 24 seconds. Again, doesn't mean that much, but it requires 5, but it just maximized because it's only 6, so won't hurt to add one more. This one is a prerequisite. It's increase 8% damage 5 seconds. Good for me. And cooldown 60 seconds. Then when health is less than 20%, it restores 2% to its maximum health per second for 3 seconds. Cools for 60 seconds. Alright, good. And then when casting recuperate, not sure which one is recuperate. It's probably different translation of some of the other skills here, but it gains immunity to control effects for 5 seconds. Just 1 talent point, so it's good to have it. Again, this is gonna be basic. It's gonna be present in all different classes. It's the general 3, and I did the same thing here, right? Maximizing damage up here, but on the left side I only had it until attack speed. Alright, so I'm not getting all these other effects because I'm not sure if there's a more than 100% damage reduction for the Grail set. Okay, I don't see it on the character stats info. You won't see any Grail damage percentage over here. If you do, have a screenshot, let me know. Email it to WOR or warframes at papalaran.com. Yes, I have an email. And I have my own domain. Yeah, I don't see any Grail percentage here, right? Did it hang up on me? It did. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, no Grail damage, so that's why I'm keeping it at 100%. I already had it on the deck side, so on the strength side I'm not gonna add anything to this anymore, so that's why this is gonna be left blank. Alright, for damage, still I'm not sure, but if you guys wanna take the risk, I think before I did add something to this, but I didn't feel anything I didn't feel any stronger or any more tanky than my other builds. So up to you if you want to take the risk, and there are no means to measure it and to see it in your stats, so that's why I kept it empty. Alright, next is enhance. When demon elements are present, each demon element demon element. This one refers to demonic marking. 50% chance of summoning 3 demonic elements. As again, I don't see them. And music stopped as well. Attacks an enemy with demonic mark. Has per chance. Yada yada. Every evil element summoned, the reduce a player with defense mark defense. Again, don't see them. Using Demon Advent. Again, what is Demon Advent? Will detonate all demon elements at each elemental deals 4% of near enemies and fix a 3-second lethal effect. Right. Increase duration by additional 5.5 seconds. I don't know what will be increased, but I still max it out anyways. Right? Because I think it refers to the demon elemental. If it's there, it's good. I think it's there. I just don't see it. But the right side here, it refers to the god state, the giant state, so I didn't add anything there. And for the last one, it's gonna be a generic talent again that's gonna be appearing on all of the other classes as well. So I have everything maxed out on the right except for mage, because it's just one class. The rest of these are, you know, 3 classes, and I can benefit from those 3 classes. This is just 1 class. Why spend 5 more talent for just 1 class, which is very rare nowadays. Okay, I need to breathe. Arvin Cruz says hi. Hi, sir. So that's it for the talent. If you have questions, let me know. If you don't have, then we'll proceed to Dragonborn. Let's take a look at my Dragonborn skills. Alright, each mark of havoc is referring to the demon markings. Again, different translation, different terms, referring to the same thing. So each mark of havoc grants 2% control resistance bonus. So as long as you have those 5, then you're gonna have 10% control resistance bonus. Alright, and it also increases this skill increases your attack speed by 15%, basic damage by 3%. So why don't we test this out? Let's take a look at our control resistance bonus. We're currently on, oh, okay, it's a lot of events, you joy. Kind of overwhelmed by that. Control res, right? We're looking at control resistance. Control resistance, where are you? Yeah, 135.3%. We're idle right now, so why don't we cast that and see if it's gonna be increased. Control resistance. True to its word, it added 2%, probably, right? So adding 10% to this, so we're at 135 before, so it will be up to 145% control resistance after casting a lot of this. That's why in Heaven's Arena, as you can see, I cast this immediately, but in a different purpose, actually, just so that I can cast this skill for non-gunslinger opponents, right? But if it's a gunslinger, I'm gonna have 4% additional control resistance by the time we start the match. So where are we? Control Dragonborn, right? So that's why I had this, because I hate getting stunned. If once you get stunned, you lose. Again, when activating a demon marking, it renders a target silent for 1 second and reduces their speed by 30% for 3 seconds. Minimum interval, very, very short, which is good at 3 seconds. So, and the demon markings at the bottom of your feet you'll reach 5 very, very quickly as soon as you have high attack speed and combo rate. Yeah. So high attack speed will do it for you. So make sure that you got enough attack speed. When activating Mark of Demon, renders the target stunned for 1.5 seconds. Right? That's good. Automatically casts every 6 seconds to apply a Mark of Demon. So every 6 seconds, you'll stun them for 1.5 seconds. You'll also gain 2% control resistance. And when you cast the skill every 6 seconds, it's gonna increase your control resistance by another 10%. So we're at 145% before. So it's gonna be 155% control resistance after. That's why you don't see me get stunned a lot during Heaven's Arena, because my build is attack speed, control resistance, and stun all at the same time. So that's how I build and choose my skills. Applies the rope, so you've seen this before, right? It's the same skill, just additional description here. So this is when assassins drag or applies a rope around the opponent so that they can't escape, right? And before it's broken, Mark of Demon will actually be activated again once every 3 seconds and affect the target. So again, before it breaks. It's gonna stun them for 1.5 seconds. It's probably gonna add 2% more control resistance and all the other effects that came with it in the previous Dragonborn talents. Bow. Alright. Increase PvP damage by 8% for 3 minutes. I don't slot this in the shortcut, but as soon as you press auto, this is gonna get casted and it's going to add the Mark of Demon as well, I believe. That's what you see when I start a match in Heaven's Arena. So this gets activated. So I have PvP damage up again. It's for 3 minutes and reduces damage dealt by 20% for 4 seconds. Right. Next, and my HP drops to 1, triggers immortality for 3 seconds, but I extend that to 4 seconds, so it's total of 7 seconds.